Hey guys, it's your boy Monkey Man back with another video on Albion Online. It's a new MMO game that's going to be taking over the PC and Android iPhone platforms. So it's going to be pretty much a cross-platform MMO, and I think the first ever cross-platform MMO that we'll ever experience this year. So I'm really excited about it. You know, it's pushing other companies to really compete against it. I heard that RuneScape is coming out with its own mobile platform version as well. So now that this game is finally out, here's how you go about starting out a new character. So I've started a new character, gone through the character design already. It's not too hard. Once you've created your naked caveman and you venture out into the universe, you get sent into a starter location. So the starter locations, if you open up the big menu by pressing K, you'll see that we're in this big continent, which is the Royal Continent. This is the main starting continent for people to first get their grip of the game. Later on, you'll be trying to get into these black zones up here, which is for the competitive players and people that don't mind dying on a regular basis. But yeah, for now, you'll start in one of these stars. These are the starting locations for new players. And if you see next to the stars, there's a home symbol, and that's going to be pretty much your where you want to end up going. Like, it's a main starter city. So after you start here and do your beginner's quest, you go into your starter city. You'll be doing a lot of work here for the first couple of days, and eventually you end up in the continent cities. And pretty much, we've got the game maintenance happening soon. There will be a lot of game maintenances at the beginning of the game, and really, since the numbers are so huge right now, it's expected that there would be a game maintenance. So first thing you want to do when you do the tutorial zone, you want to first of all just follow these little quests over here. They tell you exactly what to do. Gather 3 rough logs. So as you can see, there's a bunch of trees here. You just click on them and you can gather the logs from that tree. So we just need 3 of those to be able to build a tool, I believe is the first quest. We need some of the stones. So if you look at these little stones here, you pick them up and you have your necessary stones. Of course, I'm playing on discount. Your founder starter pack was going to claim rewards. Yes, we've already claimed our founder packs with our main account. This will be my alternative account from a different locations. I think next up is to make a beginner skinning knife. So with the rocks and planks that we just gathered, we can use them to create a skinning knife. So now that will be in our hands first of all, but also it will be in our inventory. So now we can kill and skin basically creatures to be able to make, I believe, leather is what we're aiming for here. So leather armor, starter armor. Not too hard. Okay. So once you have enough leather, I think that would be enough. I hope it's enough. Once you have enough leather, you go to the same tutorial workbench, go to mercenary jacket, and you craft that, and then it goes straight on you. Now you're not so naked, and you feel a lot better about your life. So I think we have to do. We can build the rest of it. All you need is that, but you should build the rest of it if you don't have a premium account, and this is an alternative account, or you're a new player to the game. Basically, just get all that armor going, and then use, I think, a few sticks and stone to make the broadsword. So you need to get a few more sticks and stone, and then you'll be able to make the broadsword as well, so that way you have a sword to fight with. And the armor to complement that fighting. So, and I believe the last part of the tutorial after this involves you just hitting the dummies there, the test dummies. Those test dummies are pretty cool. You can always come back to hit those if you want to practice your routines. But yeah, so let's go with the weapon icon there. Pick the beginner's broadsword. We need 1 more stone, 1 more. I knew I miscalculated that. So we need 1 more stone and 1 more piece of wood. Okay, so now we have the materials for our sword, and then we'll probably make some boots so we can get the sprint icon. Yeah, each piece of clothing and weaponry gives you a skill, so it's really important to have them equipped and made. So, oops. Sword there now. So now we have a weapon ability. Q beginner strike is your single target attack, and there's an AoE one, which is a cleave. Not so important in your early levels to worry about AoE, I believe. Let's go back to armor and finish building up the armor. Okay, so now we're ready to go. With the armor equipped, we can finally use sprint. Let's see what the little... They look pretty good. Now if we're not naked anymore, that's good. So now we have to use an ability on the dummy. So just press Q and that is it. You have done your beginner's quest and you're ready to venture off into the starter city, which I believe is Highland Cross on this side of the map. Okay, from here it's pretty simple. You just gotta pick your crafting specialization, what you want a weapon, main in your weapons, and you'll see a lot of videos on the internet about what weapons do and which ones are which. I'm gonna probably do a few myself, but yeah, there's a huge tree of weaponry and armor. Don't let it daunt you. There's really only 3 types to pick from each one. So you've got the plate armor fighter, you've got leather armor fighter, you have also a cloth armor fighter. So this is like the mage side. You can pick between mage class of weaponry, archery class, or it's not really archery class, I would say ranger class, mage class, and tanky warrior class. So once you unlock the initial weapons, you can then use the free start, like you can see which weapons you've got here. You've got the mace. You can look at the abilities, which is really important. Have a look at the abilities, really understand what each role is for. You'll see that this one has more of a focus on silencing. Hammer, I think, is a lot more for slowing and AoE based stuff. You've got the battle axe. A lot of people have been using battle axe actually, because it has a vampiric strike as well. And then you've got the crossbow, which is a slower version of the archery weapon, but does some mad damage in the form of channeling spells and abilities, but it has a slower DPS than the archery bow, so it's very ability based compared to archery weapons, but it is still a ranged weapon that you can use with the warrior class. That way you can also train the swords and the maces and the shields. The shields are really cool actually. This one isn't that amazing, but later on when you get the other shields, which I think is the Adept's Sarcophagus, you start getting some interesting stuff in terms of defensive values. Yeah, not too bad. You can tell one's made more for players, PvP, one's made more for dungeons. But yeah, I haven't really chosen that path. I might choose that path on this new alternative account. Mage is also really fun because the staves, etc., can be pretty destructive in force, especially the pyromancer class with the fire stuff. Also, I think there's something called the curse staff. Is this the curse staff? Yeah, which does huge damage over time, but it stacks and it makes for a really good PvP weapon. Not so much good for solo and dungeons, but really good in PvP. Of course, healing also very. You know what? I might make this a healing alternative account. Plate healer, maybe. We'll think about it. So yeah, you can mix and match armor as well. You can choose to go, for example, a really good combo right now, since vanilla Albion Online, is to go cloth helmet. Where's the cloth helmet? Cloth helmet because of the not the cowl. There's something that I think it's cleric cowl. No, could be this actually. There's something about a poison stacking ability that allows you to kind of destroy. Is that the one? Poison, yeah. They're using the Adept's Mage Cowl with the poison along with leather armor. Would actually increase your attack speed whilst giving you a poison that's 74 damage over 5 seconds. That's actually kind of stacks on the DPS value. So right now a lot of people are running full leather armor but cloth helmet. So you can mix and match any way you want. Don't feel too discouraged by the size and overwhelmingness of this crafting panel. It's really easy to get work around. You kind of understand what you have to do just by, you know, doing it. So don't worry too much about that thing, the crafting table. Just go around the map and start doing things. You'll see, like, if you see a piece of metal on the ground, you can go to it and you're like, oh, you need the beginner's axe. So the best way to do that is to make a beginner's pickaxe, which is as simple as going to the beginner's crafting table, seeing where it is, what you need for it, free stone, free wood, and then, you know, you do it. So it's as simple as that. Don't feel overwhelmed at all at any time. Always feel like there's something, you know, that can be easily done. Everything here is pretty much very simple and easy to understand. So yeah. Some stone, and now we can make that pickaxe, and now we've just become an ore miner. So usually a lot of people at the beginning, you know, will do all the materials. So you'll do a little bit of wood, a little bit of metal, a little bit of this and that. That's fine. I don't think it's necessary. I reckon you should just focus on doing what you need to survive early game up to the tier 3, but at tier 4 you should specialize. Pick one ore or one material that you want to gather, and then, you know, do it. And usually each area has its own, like, I guess, abundance of a certain particular element or ore or skin. So in this area, I'm pretty sure that the green zone here is very abundant in stone, I believe. I could be wrong with that. I know this area is abundant in furs and stone, so this must be stone as well, to be honest. And this area is abundant in trees, this area is abundant in ore, and the top area here is abundant in cotton, something like that. It's like each continent has its own abundance in a certain element, which means there's a kind of an economic exploit there where you could probably farm a bunch of stone from my region where I started, take that, get on a boat, as you can see there's boats, to a region where there's probably 0 stone, like here, where is it, Forest Cross, and then move up to Lyndhurst, and sell the stone here for an abundant amount compared to how much it would be worth in the city where there's a ton of stone. So that's why you want to be kind of particular in how you're crafting. So if you think, for example, that, you know, the best way to get into the game is to make a lot of money so you can buy your weapons and you can just keep running dungeons, farm the thing that's the most abundant in your region, for example stone in this region, and, you know, use a little bit of your gold to pay for the boat ride. I think it's like an 8,000 boat ride with all the stone. Or you can just take a trip, like it's a long trip, but with a ox you should be able to do it pretty easily, and you don't want to go through the red regions, you want to go around this way. So you go through the yellow regions. Yellow, 2 red regions, or 1 red region really. Yeah, so you'd go for Adel Hall, get to sort of 1 red region, which you have to really get through fast, and hope to God you do not get picked. Then just more yellow regions until you get to Lyndhurst. It's a bit of a walk, but you'll find that it's kind of worth it when you have the final result, the money from it. But that's just ways you can think about playing the game. It's really up to you how you play it. You could just dungeon run. Dungeons make you a lot of silver in this game. Sometimes you never need to pick up an axe ever at all. It depends what you want to do in the game. Do you want to be a strategist, economically driven? Do you want to have fun by just slaying things? Do you want to be a guild? I really do recommend being part of a guild, because guilds kind of do give you that early game support. And the early game support is exactly what you need to kind of get ahead. And they are very helpful. Like, a lot of guild leaders will give you things, good guild leaders that are looking to help out new players are always happy to give you things, make things easier. I remember when I started my guild, they always offered me to, you know, they upgrade my island and build a farm on it. Very nice guild that I am originally with. Okay, finally, this is the last little bit of information you're going to need to know. Always do this quest line. This quest line will result with you getting a free mount in the form of these donkeys here. If you can see the donkey here. These donkeys are free to all players. You just have to finish the main quest line, which is just started by talking to the guy right there. And you talk to that guy, take this quest, speak with some people in the place. They basically guide you to making your first weapon, That's tier 3, so a actual weapon that you can use in the battle. So with that, you can actually do pretty well, you know, in the game, because you have your first mount, and then the rest of the game is pretty much just the same old thing, just grinding different elements or slaying dungeon demons and all those other good things. Ultimately, you're gonna need to join a guild to experience the most fun this game can offer, because it's really a social game. There's a lot of people playing. As you can see, this is just the beginning island, and there's already a lot of people, and I think the server's about to shut down, so a lot of people have already logged off because maintenance is just around the corner. But yeah, so this is pretty packed, even just for an abiding server maintenance around the corner. So definitely get into a guild, hopefully one that has Discord, or has a Skype channel, whatever form of messaging, Reddit, just so that way you can talk to each other and experience the game at its fullest and have a bit more direction. So yeah, definitely a few pointers for all beginners. Make sure you get through the beginner quest line to get the free mount. Very important. Got to talk to that guy right there. A lot of people miss that. And definitely try and join a guild after you've worked out what you want to do in the game, what your end game is going to be. If you want to be a crafter and make money, or if you want to just slay demons, guilds are going to help you out with that. Like, if you don't do any crafting or don't do any gathering, then you're going to need a guild to support your endless PvPing or slaying. Also, PvPing is a whole different subject. I don't want to get into that. But your guild is going to supply you with the weapons, so that way you can be a grunt and attacker. But you have to really get yourself out there and meet these guilds and try your best to connect with the people in them. I believe you guys can all do it. It's easy. Hopefully this information was very useful to you guys, and you find it helps you out in your early stages on Albion Online. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Monkey Man. Please like and subscribe to the video if you found this useful. And remember, guys, keep on crafting, keep on gathering, keep it on, keep going, mate. You can do it. You got this.